Hey, everybody. It is time for today's political energy reading from the swamp. I'm finally starting to feel well enough to get back to doing some of these. Um, yeah, I shuffled and pulled because I didn't want y'all to have to sit through all that noise. And this is what I got. Card number one was Strength Reversed. Card number two was the Page of Wands upright. Card number three was the Queen of Cups reversed. Card number four is the Emperor. And card number five is Temperance reversed. And then at the bottom of the deck, I had the Hierophant. So let's go. All right, card number one, Strength reversed. This is basically our step off point for the reading, and it's Strength reversed. So, I mean, that's talking about as a whole, collectively, we are all reaching out, trying to overcome the self doubt we feel with how everything has been going and all the craziness in the world. Um, we're trying to not be insecure, although I think a lot of us are feeling very insecure about things. There's been a lot of low energy. It's like a lot of people, while they were really fired up and ready to go a month and a half ago, right now the biggest emotion I get off of people is just a resigned, like, okay, whatever. I guess we don't have a choice. That's wrong. We do have a choice. I think that's what this is reminding us is we need to start looking inside and we need to find that inner strength. And then with the next step, we got the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands, we're talking about new ideas, discovery, inspiration, limitless potential. There's a good one. A free spirit, exploration. These are all very positive ways of dealing with what we're feeling, of dealing with our world, of dealing with what's going on around us. And that's going to help us get through this and come out the other side stronger for it, is this Page of Wands. So this is us after feeling resigned, like, well, I guess we're stuck. We can't get past this. But the Page of Wands popped in and said, wait a minute, hold my beer. We got things to do. And so that's kind of where we need to go. That would be like the next step to take is the hold my beer stage and let's see what we can get done. And then the obstacle that came up, that was the Queen of Cups reversed. Now that reversed, a Queen of Cups reversed, that deals with your inner feelings, self-care, self-love, codependency, insecurity. I think everybody's kind of feeling all of those. We're our inner feelings feel like a battered spouse, like we're just all beat up and don't know which way to turn next because it's been nonstop. We just keep getting hit, wham, 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 with everything. Self care and self love. I think that's a little reminder that that's what's being blocked from us right now, and we desperately need to feel that self care and that self love, and we need to work at unblocking it. Um, there's a lot of codependency right now, a lot of insecurity. A lot of people are drinking too much, taking too many drugs, eating too much, sleeping too much because they just can't handle what's going on in our world right now. And every day seems to bring something worse. But Spirit is here to remind us that with self-care and self-love, we get beyond that. And then we can pull from that Page of Wands and know that, yeah, we've got the fortitude, we've got the strength, we've got the ideas in our head. We just have to be willing to stop and listen to it. Now, our strengths and resources, that's the emperor. And so, with the emperor, you're talking about respect, leadership, stability, structure, rules and power, authority, father figure, protection, control, discipline, focus, practicality. Man, there's a lot of keywords for this damn card, isn't there? So, kind of a smorgasbord, take your pick. What really seems to be jumping out at me as far as strengths and resources is we don't feel very respected right now. Not by our government, not by other governments. Can we blame them? We have a real MIA in leadership, whether if it's our team, the other team, doesn't matter. It's just a lack of leadership. But that's something that we should be able to look towards to help us work our way through that, is leadership. And we need to remind those that are in leadership positions that, hey, we're depending on you to get up off your lazy behind and go do what needs to be done. Easier said than done sometimes. It says authority and father figure. Well, that's what F-47 wants to put forward, that he's daddy. Remember, it's like, yeah, no, I wouldn't want a daddy like that for all the tea in China. And his way of dealing with things is it's my way or the highway. He's the ultimate authority figure. He's the one in control. He's the one that disciplines. He's the one that decides what's right for us and what's wrong for us. Well, I hate to tell him, but his ideas suck, and they're not very good for us as a whole. So that's something that we need to push away from us. Even though it's a strength and a resource, we need to pull these emotions in for us to stand up against what's going on and not let him be able to take over and dictate to us how we're going to feel. And then the last card is the potential outcome. And for that, we got Temperance reversed. I'm not real thrilled with that card, especially reversed. Imbalance, excess, extremes, overindulgence, alcoholism, addiction. What did I just say? Self-healing, realignment. I mean, I have to stop and read this because I don't know what these cards mean reversed. I pull reversals so rarely. But it seems like when I started doing these readings, suddenly I'm getting reversals out the wazoo. So as a potential outcome, if we don't take control of our emperor power and start putting things to rights, we've got this to look forward to. And that's that imbalance, excess, drinking too much, doing too many drugs, partying too much, not realigning ourselves with spirit, but ignoring spirit because we're pissed or we're hurt. And that's to be understood. I mean, we've all been through the ringer here, okay? So that's what's going to make it hard, is trying to make it clear, not only to ourselves, but to our fellow Americans. We have to take back control of this out of control ship before it crashes on the rocks and battered by the waves. I think we can do it. I believe we can do it. My spirit guides say we can do it. What is the one thing I tell y'all to hang on to? Hope. Hang on to your hope. That's what's going to get us through. And then at the bottom of the deck, I pull the Hierophant. So now this, you're talking about institutions, traditions, religion, society, societal rules, social approval, conformity, forgiveness, mercy, wisdom, trust. Ain't a damn one of us feeling like this right now. Am I being honest or am I being honest? No, none of us feel this way right now. We feel like every single thing that I just read off this card is no longer meant for us. And that's the reverse temperance that's making us think this way. So she got to go. We're not going to listen to that. We're going to listen to the Hierophant because these are our strengths. This is the direction we need to go in. Yeah, we need to rely upon our traditions, our institutions. They give us a foundation to work from. But when the foundation is as cracked and as damaged as it is right now, it's going to be a lot harder to take hold of that foundation and shore it back up. Because if you don't, then the whole house is going to fall down because there's no foundation to keep it upright. So that's where our traditions and our institutions and stuff come in handy, is it gives us that foundation to stand on. We have to remember that and temper it with our hope and know that, okay, this didn't work the way it was supposed to. It did work somewhat, but not the way it was supposed to. So that means there were cracks in the foundation already. Now our job is to find the cracks, shore it up, so that the house we're in is strong again and can protect us. It's kind of like the three little pigs. The house of straw and the house of sticks didn't do them a damn bit of good when the big bad wolf showed up, did it? He blew them away. But it was a little pig that was smart and went and got the bricks, that he was able to not just save himself, but to save his piglet brothers to come and live with him, and we'll fight this off. Right now, we're all still in that FAFO phase, and we're busy pointing the finger at everybody and saying, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. Well, no, it's all of our faults. For those that didn't bother to get their facts straight and voted poorly, it's partially their fault. For those of us who did have our facts straight, but maybe didn't push the facts hard enough to those around us, it makes it partially our fault. For those who blindly followed along because for whatever reason they think this is an idea of what a strong person looks like, no, it's not. And that makes it partially your fault too. For those who remained quiet, for those who didn't get up and bother to go vote, who were like, oh, Kamala's got it, I don't need to go vote. Yeah, well, we saw what happened there, didn't we? There are a lot of things that we can blame for how this election went. One of the first things I think we need to seriously consider and lay blame is at the feet of the Democrats, who had control of the House and the Senate and the White House, who fiddle-farted around and didn't go after the people who were responsible for the insurrection and for the attack on our Capitol. We fiddle-farted around and we didn't go after all of the nonsense that was being brewed up and continued to grow, because we were too afraid of hurting feelings. Forgive me, but fuck feelings, okay? It's time to put your big boy pants on. Y'all had a job to do, and you screwed around and you didn't do it. Instead, you kept pushing it down the road, pushing it down the road. Now look where we're at. There are serious doubts not just in my mind, but in a lot of people's minds, of will we survive this? Will we, as a democracy, as a democratic society, will we come out the other end and be the stronger for it? These are some of my questions I have at night when I go to bed. And my guides continue to tell me daily, multiple times a day, we will get through this. It will be better. And we will be the stronger for it. But it's not going to just be a hop, skip, and jump away. It's going to take work. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take us rolling up our sleeves and doing what needs to be done to get this straightened out. If it means we have to tear it all down and rebuild it back up stronger, better, like the $6 million man, be stronger, better, faster, whatever it was that led into the show, beginning of the show. I feel like we're the guy that just fell out of the plane and hit the ground and splat. We have a choice. We can curl up and die, or we can roll up our sleeves and build it back better, stronger, and faster, and put into place those things that will keep us safe while at the same time ensure our freedoms. That's a fine line that you walk between keeping your country safe and keeping all of your freedoms. Because there are times when you have to kind of put the freedom part in the closet in order for the protection part to come out and protect everybody. But then once that situation is taken care of, protection goes back into the closet where it belongs, where it keeps up with what's going on, but it's just there in case. And everybody regains their freedoms. And we go back to being a caring, loving society, a democratic society. There is nothing weak about caring for those who are less off than us. There is nothing weak about wanting to feed hungry children around the world, because for whatever reason in their circumstances, they're in a place where they don't have food or clean water. There is nothing weak about compassion and caring and loving and wanting to take care of one another. Hell, that's what Jesus taught. Granted, I know he's too woke for the Republican Party anymore, but, if you want to claim you're a Christian, I suggest you go sit back down and reread the words of Jesus. Because the majority of the people that claim to be Christians, they ain't living Jesus' words. That's for damn sure. They're nowhere close. In fact, everything they do is things that he was diametrically opposed to. So we have decisions to make. Are we going to stand up and protect our own freedoms as well as the freedoms of others? Are we going to stand side by side with our LGBTQ plus family member or friend or coworker in order to protect them if they're getting bullied? Are we willing to stand up against dictators who want to lock you away in prison because you don't believe the way they want you to believe? These are some serious thoughts, serious ideas to entertain. I thoroughly believe we're that people. We just have to be reminded of it. I think as a whole, most of us lost our way. We got complacent. Oh, it's the government. They'll take care of it. Well, now we see what happens when you don't stay on top of what the government is doing and make sure they're doing the right thing. when you let the elite class come along and pay for everything so it'll go their way and nobody else's. Living in a democratic society is a responsibility, not just to yourself, but to your family, your friends, your coworkers, your fellow citizens, your fellow countrymen, even people from other countries. Part of being in a democratic society means that we take responsibility for what happens in that society. And we stand up for what's right, no matter what it may cost us. That's the question we have to ask ourselves now. Are we willing to stand up for what's right? Hang on to that hope, guys. That's all we got right now, is hope and faith. My guides tell me we're going to come out of this battered and scarred and bruised and bleeding, but we're going to come out of this the better for it and the stronger for it. So y'all hold on to that hope. Keep that hope burning bright in your life. And know that your little grain of hope can do more good than all the hatred in the world. That's how strong it is. Jesus said, if you have but the faith of a mustard seed, you can look at that mountain and say, mountain, move, and the mountain will move. Y'all know how big a mustard seed is? It's like itty bitty bitty bitty. If we have just that much faith that we can make this right again, that we can correct the mistakes, that we can punish those who lied, cheated, stole, and we can put good leadership back in charge again. It'll happen. We just have to have faith in it. And we have to be willing to stand up and make it so. That means holding our leadership accountable. Doesn't matter what letter comes after their name, if they're an R or a D or an I don't care. At this point, I really don't care. What I care about is, what do you stand for? Are you standing for your own pocketbook? Or are you standing for the people that you're supposed to represent? And that's everybody, whether they voted for you or not. You get elected to an office, you're there to serve the public. That's all of the public. Not just the R's, not just the D's, not just the I's. Everybody. And we need to remind our leadership of that. All right. That's enough of me fussing at y'all for a day. I didn't realize I had all that bottled up. I guess it needed to come out. Y'all take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And go back to work tomorrow. Fingers crossed. I make it a whole day. And we'll talk soon. Hold on to that faith, y'all. Got to get rid of the backups. Hold on to that faith and know that we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. We're just going to be bloody and blattered before we get to the end. But in the end, we win. All right. Bye for now.